Hey people, what's going on, y'all? It's your girl, Lady Vasori, in the building, and we are talking about the 7 African powers. Oh yeah, the 7 African powers for beginners. I do get a lot of requests for certain videos, and this one here was one of the requests that I got, and we're gonna dive into the 7 African powers, and this is the beginner edition. Now, I've done my research, and I am creating this in order for you to learn as well as for myself, okay? I am a hoodooist. I walk a path of love and light, but I will slay your ass to the 7th power if you come in my space messing with me. All right? I lead with love at all times. I walk the path of hoodoo. Hoodoo is what I do. But I also attach myself to voodoo. I also attach myself to Roman gods, saints, Egyptian gods and goddesses. It just what is resonates with me. My divine spirituality takes me to all goddesses, Mother Nature, attuning to Gaia, all of that. Okay, so this here is just a video to get you acclimated on what the 7 African powers are, and we're about to dive on in. Before I get started too, let me introduce myself to my new subscribers. Hey guys, I am Lady Vasori, and I am the owner and operator of a spiritual online Botanica called Visions by Vasori. I offer everything in the occult. I offer client works. I offer life coaching, as well as a lot of different things to help you along your way. Okay, now that has been said, let's dive into this lesson. I do have my notes right here in order to give you everything that I learned about the 7 African powers. And bear with me, guys. Some of these African words don't come for me in my comments. I'm trying. Let's go. All right. More and more people are being drawn to their pre-Christian ancestral ways. Modern African Americans, Afro-Caribbean, Haitians, South Americans, and many other magical people feel called to work with their Orishas, including the 7 African powers. Now, who are the Orishas? Let's talk about that first. That is the question. The Orishas are a group of spirits that have originated from Yoruba land, which is a region in Africa spanning Nigeria, Benin, and Togo. Now, I want y'all to know something. I did an ancestry to see where I originated from and what my makeup is. And I am from the Ivory Coast, Benin, okay? I guess that's why I tune so much, and a little bit of Scotland in me. I'm assuming that is a little YT in me, but it is what it is. I'm mostly Benin and from the Ivory Coast, okay? Some people liken the Orishas to gods and goddesses. They are similar, but they are not quite the same, okay? In the Yoruba religion, there is one main created god known as Olodumare. Moreover, the Orishas are spirits more similar to like demigods or angels that work under the watchful eye of the creator God. Now, the creator God created the Orishas and therefore has domain over them, including over the 7 African powers. However, though, the 7 African powers are invoked in many different religions and magical systems, including Lukumi, Voodoo, Santeria, folk Catholicism, and much, much more. Now, who are the 7 African powers? Who are they? All right. The 7 African powers are 7 of the most potent and venerated Orishas. Now, when the 7 are brought together in invocation as well as prayer, they will do amazing things for their people. Their people. Keyword, their people. The 7 African powers are these 7 orishas. It's Ishu, Ishu, Ogun, Obatala, Yemaye, Oshun, Shango, and Oya. Now, depending on who you ask, the 7th, who is Oya, is sometimes substituted with Oromilla or Achosi. Okay? Now, a note on some sources that I saw. With my research on the 7 African powers, I do find it interesting that because of the forced synchronization of the 7 African powers with the 7 Catholic saints, some sources claim the original 7 were never orishas, that they've always been saints. But I disagree and believe that this is a dogmatic and patriarchal way to shut out original religion. Ultimately, it's up to you what you believe about the 7 African powers. I'm just giving you the information. It's up to you, okay? The 7 African powers and the saints. Now, for the fun stuff, let's talk about, or let's take a look about on each of the 7 African powers, their qualities, and the saints they were synchronized with. You may choose to work with individual orishas or learn how to invoke the 7 African powers together. Okay? Number 1 is Ishu. And Ishu is also known as Ilegwa, Papa Legba, Legba, okay? Depending on the tradition. Now, this powerful orisha is the messenger between the worlds and is a guardian of the crossroads. Nearly every spirit associated with the crossroads is a trickster, and Ishu, or Papa Legba, is no exception. He is one of the 7 African powers who is a psychopomp, which is a guide for the dead. That's what that means. And he is also a guardian of travelers. He is the orisha to call upon when you need a road opened. He is the orisha to call on when you want to have an open communication with all of the other orishas and spirits. You cannot go straight to said person without going through Papa Legba. Okay? Let's talk about Papa Legba's domain. His domain is all about the crossroads, all roads, paths, thresholds, and doors. The road to the dead. He is the messenger, the traveling, fertility, comedy, mischief, healing. Okay? The saints that he is synchronized with is Saint Anthony, Saint Lazarus, and Saint Peter. His manifestations, over 200 manifestations, depending on the tradition. As a viral young man with a phallus, a concrete head with cowrie shell eyes and mouth, he can be considered, you could be seeing him as old limping man with a cane and a hat. That's his manifestations. His colors are all about black and red. His offerings, he loves tobacco. He loves rum, candy, toys, spicy foods, hot sauce, and peppers. His animals, mouse or mice, and roosters. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something that I saw recently. On a social media platform, I saw someone give Papa Legba meat and bones. Y'all read on all deities for yourself. You do not give Papa Legba chewed up bones and meat that looked like it was ate off of. Meat, period, no. Palm oil, yes, that type of thing. But yeah, no. His favorite, tobacco, rum, candy, toys, spicy foods, hot sauce, peppers. And I'm going to grab my book right quick. 1 second. So I'm going to also be referencing with 2 of my books as well as my notes. This here is my, y'all see me. This is my personal copy, 7 African Powers, the Orishas. Also, Powers of the Orishas, Santeria, and the Worship of Saints. These books I do sell in the shop right here. So I'm gonna give you other offerings. His day of the week is Monday and the 3rd of each month. His numbers are 3 and 21. He also loves mouse traps, guns and rifles, coconuts, whistles, fort branches, rum, cigars, candy. His foods: toasted corn, smoked fish and possum, palm oil, fruits, all types of candies and cakes, male chickens, roosters, coconut, cornmeal balls with honey and palm oil. Okay? That's out of this book. Now let's go into this book and see if it's anything different. Let's talk about this. I'm gonna give y'all in-depth on each one as I go, okay? This video is gonna be a little longer than normal, but I'm dropping gems. He is the safekeeper of Ashe and unlocks the path and allows desire to run in the universe. His color patterns of red and black, in addition to black and white, or his sacred head bead configuration, they mirror his opposing natures. Alegua stands at the crossroads of the human and divine. Now, without the consent of Alegua or Papa Legba, no spell or ritual can be performed in either realm. It is to Papa Legba to whom you make compensating sacrifices, and it is Alegua that you would call before any other Orisha to open the doors and begin the magical rituals. Okay? He is very important. Orisha in Santeria, very important. He is said to be graceful. He is very influent in any tongue that we speak, ever spoke, or ever will be spoken. He also enjoys goat, rooster, bush rat, as well as rum, chili peppers, and tobacco. He loves offerings of wrapped candies and toys. He loves popcorn, hard candies, or toasted corn. Alegua will eat just about anything for offerings except for pigeon. No pigeon. He helps you, if you're doing your chakras, he helps you open your throat chakra. His symbols are cards, dice, 3 stones, and keys. His equivalent strength is the Native American coyote, the Roman god Mercury, and the Norse god Odin. And that is out of this book. All right, now we're going to talk about Ogun, the second Orisha. The second of the 7 African powers is Ogun. He is an iron working healing Orisha. They say Ogun isn't just a spirit of iron, that he is iron. Therefore, he rules over metalworking and alchemy of any kind. Ogun's polarity is present in his healing abilities and his ability to destroy. A patriarchal spirit, he watches over children and families and is one of the most venerated Orishas in the African diaspora. Known as the spirit who never rests, Ogun is a shaman and a healer and has close ties to blood. Now, in the Encyclopedia of Spirits, if you are bleeding in any form, never approach Ogun. If you have a cut, if your period is on, if you are bleeding anything, anywhere, any place, never approach Ogun. Now, his domain is iron and metal working, alchemy, healing, weapons, oath-taking, orphans and the homeless, cutting obstacles, technology, vehicles and transportation, railroad tracks, shape-shifting, werewolves and that type of thing, okay? Saints associated with him are St. James the Great, St. Peter, John the Baptist, St. Martin, and Andrew, and Archangel Michael. Manifestations: viral, strong man with fiery eyes. He manifests as metal itself. There are many manifestations and personas of Ogun, including Ogun Blanjo and Ogun Le Flambeau. His colors are green, red and white, black as well as blue. Offerings: you leave offerings by the railroad tracks. Red palm oil, red candles, cigars, rum, wine, liquor, dragon's blood, metal, chains, railroad spikes, metal tools, weapons, toy planes and cars, meat, red beans, grains of paradise, and spicy foods. His altar: concealed in a cabinet or closet with three-legged cauldrons and offerings. Now we're going to go into the book. That was my notes on Ogun. We're going to jump into the book. Jump into this one first. This book right here. Let's see what it says. Anything different about Ogun? 25. His days of the week is Tuesday and Wednesday and the 4th of each month. His numbers are 3 and 7. Again, his offerings: cigars, rum, toy, weapons, toy cars, and airplanes. His foods: 7 plantains covered with palm oil, cola nuts, white beans, roosters, goats, possums, toasted corn, palm oil, smoked fish, 7 soda crackers spread with palm oil. And this here, this is palm oil, okay? This is it right here. And that was out of this book. Now let's dive into this book right here. Ogun. I hope you guys are taking notes. Okay? In this particular book, let's see. Ogun is the god of iron. He's the god of war and of the mind. He's a mystifying Loa, summoned for issues of protection, employment, prophecy, magical works and teachings, blood magic, blood illnesses, and situations that need curing. Once a Legua opens the doors and rolls, Ogun then cleanses them with his machete. His number is 7, and his color scheme is red and white in Voodoo, while green and black in Santeria. Ogun is also associated with a couple of different saints. Ogun's food offerings are typically meat, nuts, chili, peppers, hot and spicy foods, roots, and soda crackers with palm oil, rum, and whiskey. His feast day is June the 29th. His chakra is the root. And equivalent strength is the Norse Wayland the Smith, is the Norse god, Roman god Vulcan, and Greek god Hephaestus. I hope I'm saying that right. Okay? And that was out of this book. Next, we're going to talk about Obatala. Obatala is an Orisha of the 7 African powers known as a cool spirit of healing and peace. He's also credited with the job of creating human bodies, particularly with imperfection like blindness and other defects. Perhaps he knew variety is necessary for human evolution. Maybe he knew that. Obatala is the gentlest of the 7 African powers and very patient. His domain is over legal matters and he brings legitimate justice. Obatala prefers people who control their emotions and are level-headed. If you are one of those people that just goes off the... No, it's not the same Ashe, okay? His domain, Obatala's domain, is justice and legal matters, peace and serenity, protection of the blind, mute, and those with various birth defects. He eases tempers and rage, sobriety, creativity, and healing. The saints and deity that he aligns with is Jesus Christ. His manifestations are similar to Jesus, long hair and pure white clothing. His colors are white. His offerings are cascarilla powder or eggshell powder, sugar, shea butter, water, milk, no alcohol whatsoever, white rice, bananas, white flowers as well. The animals he's associated with is white doves, white elephants, and snails. All right, we're going to dive into this book. And we're going to look at Obatala. 77. Let's see. All right, so as well as silver and platinum, Obatala owns all white substances. He is said to rule over the bones of the body and over the brain, which he created. White doves, snails, fruits with white meat, such as coconuts, and all hills and mountain tops belong to Obatala. Milk, cocoa butter, cascarilla or powdered eggshell, rice, yucca, cotton, and white pumpkins are also among his attributes, as are ivory and all white flowers. His sacred bird is the owl, which is a symbol of his wisdom, and the chameleon is also his as well. His days of the week is Thursday and the 8th of each month. He 8 in all is multiples of 8, which is 8, 16, 24, 32, okay? Foods. 8 meringues. He loves meringue or meringue tower sprinkled with silvery dust. Milk or rice puddings. All white foods. She-goats, doves, guinea hens, and white hens. Obatala will not accept alcoholic drinks of any type. Neither will he accept crabs or kidney beans. His children are priests and are forbidden to partake in these foods. All right, I'm going to say that again for the people. Obatala will not accept alcoholic drinks of any type. Neither will he accept crabs or kidney beans. Okay? Let's see what else I have for you. This book, that's very, and guys, you will have to, I do sell this book in my shop. It's more to this, to what I'm reading. I'm just giving you a little bit, but this book is a wealth of knowledge. So go get you one. I sell these. Also, let's dive into this. Let's see. Let me find the page. 19. I hope this helping y'all. All right. Obatala is the creator God's second son. He is the caring father of not only all the Orishas, but that of humanity. He rules the mind, brings the mind to a peace, and remedies life-threatening illnesses. He is being the only Orisha having both male and female traits. Obatala is the origin of all that is good, all that's pure, wise, and gentle, and compassionate. Now, on the other hand, being a warrior, Obatala does at times have the need to dispense justice in this world. His areas of influence are leadership, fatherhood, geology, the military, knowledge, individuals with special needs, the justice in the legal system. Obatala offerings consist of black-eyed peas, the milk or the meat of a coconut, eggs, rice, mushrooms, potatoes, milk, water, cotton, snail shells, crushed up eggshells, which is cascarilla powder, frankincense, sandalwood, myrrh incense, and tobacco. He is associated with Jesus Christ, Madonna of Mercy, or Our Lady of Mercy. Okay. His symbols are quartz crystals, frogs, white animals, white rocks, mountains, snail shells, and cowrie shells. His feast day is September the 24th. His astrology is a Libra, such as myself. His chakra is the crown, which is the head. Okay. His equivalent strengths in other diasporas is the African god Dambala, the Norse god Tyr, the Norse god Odin, and the Egyptian god Ra. Okay. This is deep, y'all, I know. Number 4, Yemaye. That's the 4th child. One of the female 7 African powers is Yemaye. And Yemaye is a water Orisha presiding over the oceans. Now, depicted often as a mermaid, Yemaye's domain is all over things related to the ocean. She is a sister of Oshun, who is the Orisha of rivers, the great mother, and she protects motherhood as well as the female sensuality or sexuality. She gives abundant treasures and foods like the sea, but also can be angered like the sea as well. Don't venerate Oya and Yemaye in the same area. Listen, they don't get along. You have to know this. Oya and Yemaye cannot be in the same area. You can erect different altars, but if you put Yemaye in a space, do not put her in the same space as Oya. They do not get along. Yemaye protects abused and neglected women as well, neglected children, and she also travels over the sea. You can also invoke her at the beach, okay? Where is my, hold on, y'all. Oh, it's right here. Let me write something down so I can go over it once I'm done. Yemaye and Oya never in Okay, guys, so I had to write down some powerful things that we need to know that I'm going to give you at the end of this video, just so I can get you to understand. Okay, it's going to be, have to do it. Back to Yemaye. Her domain is the female fertility issues, motherhood as well as children, abused women, abused or neglected children, overseas travelers, beauty, the ocean, all ocean creatures, love, healing, abundance, people born under the water, zodiac signs, anyone whose ancestors survived the passage from West Africa to the New World are her people. She also is over erotic dance, okay? Some saints associated with Yemaye are the Black Madonna of Regla and Stella Maris. If you know those saints, her manifestations are the mermaid. She's a beautiful woman wearing sea colors, sexually charged, her hair and clothes decorated with shells, coral, crystals. Her colors are blue, white, and pearl. Her offerings are seashells, jewelry, perfume, coral, flowers, watermelon, pomegranates, duck, lamb, fish, plantain chips, coconut cakes, molasses as well. Now we're going to go into the book and talk about Yemaye. Her days of the week is Saturday. Her number is 7 and all multiples of 7, 14, 21, 28, so forth. Her favorite fruit is the watermelon, but she does accept pineapples, papayas, apples, bananas, pears, and grapes. But her favorite is a watermelon. She is partial to sugar cane syrup. And one of her favorite offerings is a plate with 7 burnt coconut balls sprinkled with maleo. Among her sacred animals are the ram, guinea, hens, rooster, pigeons, quail, turtles, parrots, and ducks. Although in one of her aspects, she will not eat the latter. She will not eat that. Any of those sacred animals that I just mentioned. She also eats many types of fish. Now, when she is very angry, you can refresh her with watercress, lettuce, and seaweed. This is this book. All right, we're going to jump to the 7 African Power book and talk about some things about Yemaye. Her other name is also La Serene. It is believed that Yemaye gave birth to the moon, the stars, the sun, and nearly all of the orishas. Yemaye exists within and influences over the oceans, the seas, and the lake. She is also recognized as the mother of all. To the human eyes, Yemaye appears as a mermaid, and this is how she is normally represented. This brings up her observed form of Mamiwata religion of the ancient water deities that were portrayed with upper bodies as a human and fish or snake lower bodies, which are not part of the Yoruba pantheon of the Orishas. Yemaye is connected with Our Lady of Regla. Yemaye wears 7 skirts in the colors of blue and white, representing her favorite number of 7. She has a temperament of being nurturing, loving, direct, and frank. She is invoked to remove the obstacles, protect the female, in all things to do with motherhood, meditation, clairvoyance, calm seas, and alike. She also enjoys red palm oil, fish, cantaloupe, berries, watermelon, and coconut. Her symbols are anything ocean related: shells, fish, dolphins, mermaids, 7 silver bracelets, mirrors, and a necklace made with beads. Her feast day is January 1st, February 2nd in Brazil, Mother's Day, and September the 7th in Santeria. Some gemstones: aquamarine, blue topaz, blue lace agate, pearls, and mother of pearl, and silver. Her chakra is the heart, and her beings of equivalent strength is the Egyptian goddess Isis, Norse goddess Frigg, and the Chinese goddess Kuan Yin. Okay? That was Yemaye. Next, Oshun. Oshun is another of the female 7 African powers. Oshun is the Orisha of the rivers. Baptism by water invokes her purifying essence. Now, when Oshun calls to you, it's like a gentle river enveloping you. But if she's angered, I want you to watch out. Her domain is all over the things that flow like water: love, milk, money, honey, etc. Invoke her for cleansing rituals with water, to heal reproductive problems, for fertility, for romance, for divination, employment, magic, and much more. Some believe Oshun and Yemaye are sisters and venerate them together. Now, Oya and Oshun don't get along either. Oya does not get along with Yemaye or Oshun. But Oya and Yemaye do. Okay? Domain: motherhood and babies, fertility, healing, cleansing, love, romance, self-love, rivers, fresh water, divination, witchcraft, wealth. That's all her domain. Some saints are Catherine of Alexandria and Our Lady of Charity as well. Some manifestations for her is she looks like a beautiful woman wearing yellow or gold and 5 gold bracelets with a mirror at her belt. She loves to look at herself. As a mermaid, she manifests in cinnamon and honey, as fresh running water and waterfalls. Her colors are yellow, gold, and orange. Her offerings: mirrors, rosemary, marigold, pumpkins, makeup, brushes, mirrors, perfumes, oils, flowers, fans, sandalwood, honey. Now, honey. Always taste the honey before offering it to Oshun. Legend has it, she was poisoned by honey. So, that's another tidbit. If you are honoring Oshun and you give her honey, you need to taste it first before you offer it to her. Okay? She also likes chamomile tea, shrimp and spinach, yellow and orange fruits and veggies, cinnamon, river stones, amber, and coral. Her animals are all river fish, leopards, crocodiles, crickets, vultures, parrots, and peacocks. We're jumping to this book to look up Oshun. 103. Let's see what's different, if anything is different, because sometimes when you research, you leave. I want y'all to have everything. Her colors: yellow, coral, and aquamarine. Her day of the week is Saturday. Her numbers are 5 and all multiples of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. One of her favorite offerings is the Ochinchin, which is an omelet made with teeny shrimps, finely diced onions, and watercress. That's one of her favorite offerings. You can make that for her and place it on your altar. She also loves pumpkins filled with honey, oranges, melons, and all yellow fruits, lettuce, yellow rice, almonds, spinach, parsley, sweet potatoes, shellfish, and cornmeal with palm oil. Also, some of her sacred animals are roosters, yellow hens, pigeons, turtles, ducks, venisons, quail, peacocks, canaries, and crocodiles. Now, not all of these are sacrificed. Some are just given as presents to the Orisha. We're going to jump into this book right here. See if there's any other thing that I can add. She is the messenger from the Creator God. For this purpose, no matter what Orisha governs your head, all who are admitted as priests have to go to the river and give a statement to Oshun. Also, pumpkins, honey, coconut, spinach, almonds, yams, cinnamon, lemons, chicken, and Goldschlager liquor are favorite offerings for Oshun. Oshun said she belonged to no man and thought all was fair in the game of love. You can create an altar for her with a yellow candle, cinnamon, and star anise, pumpkins, amber, coral, and cowrie shells, and some honey. Again, that you have tasted first, since Oshun was poisoned. Her feast day is September the 8th. She rules over the heart chakra and the solar plexus. She loves yellow butterflies, bees, otters, skunks. Her beings of equivalent strength is the Greek goddess Aphrodite, the Babylonian goddess Ishtar, Roman goddess Venus, Norse goddess Freya, and any other goddess of love. All right. We're going to go to number 6, who is Shango. Shango is one of the hot Orishas and is known as the Lord of Thunder and Fire. He's the fertile male god who's intimate with Oba, Oshun, and Oya. What? Now, you're going to keep Shango and Ogun far away from each other. Okay? They are rivals. Shango and Ogun are rivals. Keep them away from each other. Shango brings justice via lightning, and he protects his followers from evil. He loves music, he loves women, and he loves fun. The domain is thunder and lightning, justice, protection, male fertility, and fertility. The sky, music, and musical instruments, love, dancing, fighting. His saints are Saint Jerome, John the Baptist, and Saint Barbara. Manifestations: he is a powerful, handsome man with a red coat and cowrie shells, on lightning with a double axe. His colors are red and white. His offerings are copper, mugwort, high John the Conqueror root, lots of spicy food, red foods, and red palm oil, liquor like red wine and rum, sugar, and cascarilla. His animals are the horse, ram, leopard, crocodile, turtle, and lizard. Now, let's jump into the book and see if I find anything else about Shango. And I'm in this book. let's see. His day of the week is Fridays and the 4th of each month. His numbers are 4 and 6. Offerings, bitter cola and palm oil, pumpkins and pomegranates are also among Shango's offerings. Now, among the Yoruba, the Orogbo are used as a divination system to speak directly with Shango. His favorite is amala, made with cornmeal and palm oil. Okra is also sacred to him, and sometimes his amala is made with 12 pieces of okra. He loves apples and bananas and are also among the most common food offerings given to Shango. He does not accept rum like a legua, ogun, and a chosi, but he is partial to very dry red table wine. So, Shango does not accept rum. Okay? He will not accept cigars as well. No cigars at all. When he takes possession of one of his initiates, he will eat literally the embers of any cigar that is smoked in his presence. Now, among his sacred animals are roosters, rams, turtles, turkeys, lambs, quail, guinea hens, and bulls. And we're going to jump into this book. He is called mostly for men in all issues to do with victory and sensuality, to be seductive to women. He loves women, baby. He rules dance, drums, fire, lightning, and thunder. Shango has a hot-tempered nature and is the personification of manhood. Even though he has continuing affairs with both Oya and Oshun, he is actually married to Oba or Abba. Shango is very strong-willed and determined. He appreciates all of the indulgences of the world and draws on in spells of power, money, sex, and lust. His feast day is December the 4th. His chakra is the sacral chakra. Beings of equivalent strength is the Norse god Thor, the Roman Mars, Greek god Ares, and basically other war gods. Okay? Shango. Now, last but not least, we're going to jump into Oya. Oya is the last of the 7 African powers, though sometimes she's substituted with Ochozi or Orunmila. She manifests as a horned water buffalo or beautiful woman. Her domain is the Niger River, fertility, secrets, shape-shifting, spirits, cemeteries, etc. Never invoke her and Yemaye or Oshun together. The only exception is when invoking all of the powers together, the 7 African powers, okay? If you're doing it individually, never invoke Oya with Yemaye in the same space or Oya with Oshun, okay? Her domain is the Niger River, female fertility, magic, divination, women's secrets, female warriors, cemeteries, spirits of the dead, horse farms, libraries, healing of your ancestral line, winds and hurricanes as well, marketplaces too. Saints are Saint Barbara, Teresa of Avila. Her manifestations are as a beautiful woman, a water buffalo, and she wears 9 copper bracelets, as well as she can manifest into an antelope. Her colors are maroon and purple shades. Her offerings are flowers, star fruit, plums, purple grapes, 9 eggplants as traditional offerings, bean fritters, red wine, and you could set up an altar at home or set up offerings at a cemetery gate. Her animals are antelope, water buffalo, locust, sheep, and horses. Jumping into the book about Oya. Let's see, 87. Her feast day is February the 2nd for the Catholic Church. Her numbers are 9. The days of the week is Friday, which is chosen by the Orishas to inflict punishment on those who have broken the law. Her colors are all colors except black. Her main color is wine. She likes flowery prints, which her initiates must never wear. You must, okay, y'all just heard that, right? With Oya, you will never wear flowery prints. Her food, white rice with eggplant in small balls made of pigeon peas, rice with fish, rice with corn, rice with sesame seeds, and rice with black beans are also among the favorite foods of Oya, as are yams and chocolate pudding. Among her sacred animals are she-goats, pigeons, black hens, and guinea hens. The ram, which is Shango's sacred animal, is odious to her, as is palm oil. Okay, let's jump into my other book. Oya is the ruler of the winds, tornadoes, hurricanes, and the burial places of the dead. She brings change, storms, tornadoes, wind, lightning, death, witchcraft, athletics, and business. She is a ferocious fighter who rides with Shango and is a companion of Ogun. She is thought to watch over the recently dead and help them as they make the conversion of life. Her other offerings include eggplant. As many as 9 can be offered at once, depending on circumstances, coins, red wine, and cloth. If you think of Oya, think of her as Storm from the X-Men. Oya's colors are burgundy or purple with brown colors and floral designs, while her favorite metal is copper. Her feast day is February the 2nd. She's over the 3rd eye chakra. Her animals are bats, deer, purple martins, sparrows, dragonflies, fireflies, and the water buffalo. Her equivalent strength are all strong warrior goddesses such as Greek goddess Athena, Hindu goddess Kali, and Hawaiian goddess Pele. Okay? Now, I have given you all 7 of the Orishas, the 7 African powers. Now, word of warning, it should go without saying that if you plan to invoke and work with the 7 African powers for healing, for abundance, for fertility, etc., that you should approach them with respect and reverence. Understand that the culture and people from whence the 7 African powers came, these spirits The Orishas were brought to the Americas on the backs of the enslaved Africans. They've survived because of the culture. I want you to have respect and have an understanding of what the Orisha people endured and henceforth survived. If you don't have respect for the African diaspora and the culture, the 7 African powers will not have respect for you. But before setting up an altar, invoking the individual Orishas or providing offerings to them, always read their likes and their dislikes and understand their backstory. Hence, these are books available in the shop. Some Orishas don't get along with one another and should never be venerated in the same space. Now, to haphazardly throw Shango and Ogun on the same altar without doing research may anger them. I want you to be smart and respectful. You can always learn about other African deities like Anasi, for example, as well. And I think Anasi and Aruna, Babalu are in this book, okay? Let's see about this. I don't think it's in this book. Yeah, no. Ways to invoke the magic of the 7 African powers. In addition to working with and venerating these Orishas individually, you can call upon them as the 7 African powers in times of great need or to cover all of your bases, okay? Even though some of these Orishas don't get along on a normal basis, when invoked as the 7 African powers, though, their animosity towards one another may be calmed. Moreover, there are different ways to invoke the 7 African powers, including with dance, chanting, prayers, candles, oils, and much, much more. All right. Let's see what else I got. You can call on the 7 African powers when you need to cover all of your magical bases or if you have a great need. They aid in self-empowerment, strength, prosperity, opportunities, protection of family, of your home, healing, career, motherhood and fatherhood, fertility, peace, justice, legal matters, and much more. If you find working with one spirit or God isn't enough, evoking the 7 African powers will pack the spiritual punch that you need. Jumping into my book right quick. What else? Something that I saw that I want to tell you about. This book also gives you oils and spells. Okay, that's a little bit deep. I'm not going to put that out there because there's certain things that we just don't talk about and give as a hoodoo. Not gatekeeping, but you have to discern for yourself on some things. All right, let's talk about Orishas in the home. Altars or shrines are set up for several reasons. They can take up a corner of an area or large enough to take up an entire room, okay? It can be outdoors or small enough to fit into your bag, your backpack, or your pocket. They can be decked out with items and decor. You can boast simple mainstays. You add flowers, candles, and it is your belief that can bring your altar together. Your belief in what is not seen or heard. Because setting up an altar is a means to develop your belief, okay? It presents you with a physical space or a sacred space for me, or to go focus yourself and concentrate on your spirituality. You are establishing a commitment when you set up an altar to nurture and increase the connection you have encouraged between yourself and your beliefs. The initial step in creating your altar is determined on its purpose. You want to meditate before launching on your progress to establish your altar on these questions. Think about the parts of your spirituality or belief that speak to you deeply. Think about which God or gods do you notice yourself to be drawn to? What facets of your life would you like to change or develop as well? If you do not have an altar to be used only for work with the ancestors, each Orisha should have a place in your home. Here are some suggestions that I'm going to give you. With a legua or Papa Legba behind a front door. Yemaye, living room. Oshun in the kitchen or the bedroom. Shango, the fireplace, a business, a desk. Obatala, the living room. Ogun, behind the front door. Oya, in a library or office. Now, everyday offerings through the week. Let's talk about that. For the purpose of everyday rituals, you should have a candle holder, you should have an incense burner, a cauldron or a pot if possible. Additionally, some may choose to include a platform or stand for small blood sacrifices. If I'm not about that life, but if this is something that you cannot handle, it is okay. Just do the best that you can. It is all right to be not only original, but also be imaginative as long as you keep to various etiquettes. Typically offer to Alegua first, except for blood offerings. Offer to Alegua, but no blood offerings. Unless it is a blood tribute, Alegua is to be satisfied first because he clears the path for us to communicate to and be spoken to by other spirits and deities. If you do not go through him first, you may misinterpret what is being expressed to you, or you may open yourself to harm or deceit by beings that focus in illusion. Okay? Opening up to the spirit world without Alegua makes you exposed. This is something that you do not want to ignore. Although any day is a suitable day to stay in contact with any Orisha, some days have a distinct feel to them, and these have an emotional impact on the way we make contact with these 7 African powers. It furthermore helps to remember all of the Orishas you know, or if you plan for daily practices, the way they have practiced well over 100 years has survived the ordeal of time and keeping people aware and getting things completed. If your beliefs have a different agenda, you should adhere to that unless it feels wrong to you. That means if it does not resonate with your spirit, do not do it. Or even if an Orisha has directed you to modify the day for your own practice, some beliefs also have a monthly plan or a lunar schedule. Let's break it down. Sundays is great for Obatala or Orimila. Mondays, Alegua, Exu, Ishu, and Ochosi. Tuesdays, Ogun and Ochosi. Wednesdays, Ogun, Babalua, Ochosi. Thursdays, Obatala, Oromila, Ifa, Orunla, the creator god, Olofin, and Olorun. Fridays, Shango, Oya, Oba, and Babalu Ao. Saturdays, Yemaye, and Oshun. Baby, my voice is tired. That is like for the beginner. That is for the beginner. That ain't even in depth. You hear what I said? So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you have been taking notes. I hope this helps anyone. If you have any questions about any of the Orishas, hit me up in the comments. If I know, I know. If I don't, I'll go find the answer to, or and do some research and get back with you guys. It is a great to spend a lot of time with you. This is it for me because I am tired. Okay, baby. Why is video, baby? I want to be great though. I want to be a great priestess. I want to be a great teacher. I want to be a great mother, spiritual mother, healer, all of that. So I have to do what I got to do to get where I got to go. You understand what I'm saying? So guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, support, share your girl channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. As always, visionsbybasori.com. Go check out my in the shop all the things I offer for the walk. Blowing blessings. Bye.